What's going on, fellow humans and resellers? It's his I, James, ReadOptionAgency.com. 22 years selling full-time on eBay. And we are Monday morning. Well, I thought Friday was going to turn things around and at least get somewhat of a normal fourth quarter, but not so. When I looked at my numbers yesterday compared to last year, in the last week I'm down 40% from last year. So, and now the more I'm doing this Google promoting outside of eBay, I'm starting to wonder exactly how much of my orders came from there. When I signed up, it said it takes about 3 weeks to get it fully running. So I think we're at like day 10. So I'll go over those numbers with you and show you where I'm at on that. But I guess, back to that perfect storm scenario, not the eBay problems on the site, the changes on the site, the economy, just all of it. Because if they got rid of the whole Google promoting too, I don't know how much they allocated per se, like per item in everyone's store or whatever. So I don't know how, I'm trying to gauge on how much I should spend. What's up, baby girl? You scare yourself. Her tail hits a DVD on the shelf, it falls and she gets scared. But so the first 9 days, I'm like, all right, I like these numbers. So I went from $5 a day and I bumped it up to $10 a day. So for the next 9 days, I'll see if anything changes also. But so overnight looks like another shutdown. It's weird, as I had a sale at 12:30, had a sale at 1:30, had a sale at 2:30, and then it shut off until 9:07. We're right now going on 10 o'clock. Slept in a little bit today. But so Friday was $847. So I'm like, all right, because I always remembered in the past my items, my sales ramped up the closer I got to Christmas. And I always said, like, my January and February's were always more than my November and December's. And February was always my biggest month of the year. So at, October, it just started ramping up until like March. So December 1st, I'm like, all right, $850, all right, maybe I'll have a great weekend. Nope, not so much. I mean, I at least made past my minimums, but Saturday, $591. And then Sunday's usually my biggest day, $554. That was my third lowest day of the week. Fourth lowest day of the week. Good. There's a euro. And I ended and sold similar so much last month that it took a lot down off the international sites. So I do expect a nice international bump up the first half of the month. I try not to end and sell similar for at least the first half of the month so I can really get those international sales on those sites. But last 31 days, dead even from this month to last month. 30 days, but 0%. We are at 10 a.m. I'm at $53. Wah, wah, wah. So Friday I sold 44 items, 7 organic, 37 promoted. Saturday 34 items, 3 organic, 31 promoted. Yesterday 36 items, 5 organic, 31 promoted. So not much has changed in the amount of items I'm selling, which, I mean, still about the average. So don't know what to say. You know, don't know what to say that I haven't already said, so there's really kind of no point in going there again. Plus, I'm staying out of there. So listed 100 items yesterday, and I've got 40 100% completed for today's 100. Making myself go walk every night for an hour, no matter the weather. So last night I went for a walk. And when I say walk, I walk as fast as I can and try not to mess up my back. So I'm like, whoo, 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 whoo. The route I take is about 2.25 miles. So kind of slow compared to my jogging days, but so come rain or snow, I'm going because I want to make myself miserable for that hour so I can be more thankful for what coming home to a warm house and a hot bath. So I want to make myself miserable for an hour so I can, kind of like a mental smack for me. So I can, I've always liked the little things, but sometimes the bigger things I don't see very well. I just kind of, go over my head. So I'm using this as kind of a way to make sure I don't forget that, to be thankful for what is going on, what is happening today with all the disappointing things going on top of it, So. Plus, get some more weight off that way. So, get the body moving. That's why I slept in today. It's my first walk, so my legs are kept me up a little bit last night. So, I fell asleep, I think, about 12. Woke up at 2:30. Tossed and turned till about 4:30, 5. So the beta on the promoting off-site ads. Let's see where I'm at this morning. All right. So we are on day 10, I believe. 26. So it'd be 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me see, what is it? 24. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're on day 11. So after 10 days, sold 20 items. That's 2 a day for a total of $288. My ad fees are $68. So it took me $68 to make $288. I gotta see if I can. I wish it told me what sold. Let's boost your traffic up to 160% by following our suggested daily budget. And you click on it, it doesn't tell you. Well, the suggested was 5 when I started, and I think that was as low as you can go. So I put it up to 10, so we'll see if that changes anything. So I wrote all the matrix down yesterday so I could remember and compare it to the next 9 days. Sale conversion rate of 3%. Average cost per click, 10 cents. 660 clicks. So I'm curious to see after a few weeks, it says it takes a while, if this ramps up my international sales, because maybe one of the biggest things with my, the amount of sales I lost overnight, maybe this has something to do with that. Oh, we'll see. We will see. My tummy is being noisy today. Ain't really much to talk about. Put the bootlegs video up yesterday. Why is that happening? Like my title and my thumbnail is not that video. That's weird. Huh. Never seen that before. Alright, let me get this stuff done, and I guess get to working. So I only have 10 items here to ship out, and 2 Posh. Actually 9 items. That one's not pulled yet. And I'm guessing, no international overnight. I wonder if, speaking of like promoting offsite on Google, I wonder if eBay also advertised somehow internationally, or if this Google offsite incorporates that in there, and that's why international sales have dropped so drastically for me. But if it says 3 weeks to get fully working, I'm guessing that would either be all your items up or at all your items spread out throughout all the platforms that the advertising goes on. So it should consistently build. We will see, though. At least that's the way I'm taking it, from the way they said 3 weeks, so not sure. First up on Poshmark. Headed to North Carolina. So Sold for $28. We've got a vintage Chicago Bears trucker cap. Dun, 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 dun. And then next up on Posh, headed to California. Sold for $12. We've got some Converse. Just some white Converse. Easy cheesy. All right. First up on eBay. I just relisted this yesterday. This was an item that had been taken, that had come down from over the years. Arden B dress. This actually was the first item that sold this morning. Sold for $18, headed to Texas. Giselle. Get that out today. Next up, we've got a Vail, Colorado hat. Sold for $10, headed to North Carolina. Just trying to think if there's any other options too that I might be missing with eBay. Aaron. We got the Ideal Companion to Your Workout Get Fit CD. Sold for $7, headed to Freeport, Illinois. I think my biggest killer too is whatever happened to my, not just what happened to my organic sales, but my organic impressions on eBay. Like for the last 2 years, they just, trying to find an organic impression of mine is almost impossible. They're just buried so deep. Which doesn't make sense when you have, you know, you keep all your matrix in good form. We got Broadway, the original cast recording. So a bunch of various songs on there. Sold for $7, going to Minneapolis That's in Minnesota. Hmm. It's funny. It's like the only thing going up are my Vendu affiliates. So thank you guys for that. And if you don't know, Vendu link is below. Save 25% on your first month if you use Vendu. Sign up for Vendu. So you can cross list. I need to work that back into my daily routine. Limitless on Blu-ray. Sold for $9.95. Headed to Oregon. I think that's been the biggest, I guess the number of items now, since I changed that up to $9.95, is partially my fault because I'm not selling all those $4.20 items anymore either. So who's to say my 35 items wouldn't be $60 this weekend? So that could be another one of the blows to the lower amount of items. But that being said, that's probably been my biggest positive surprise, is the amount of $9.95 items I am still selling. Or I am selling, I should say. Let me check. Forgetting to check the... Robert. So I knew there was probably something else I was forgetting that goes into play there. So that's probably definitely one of them. Because instead of selling, maybe if I was still at $4.19 right now, I'd be selling 2 for everyone on my media. We got a Browning hat. Sold for $8, headed to Utah. So I did forget about that. So that was a self-inflicted change. So but at least my average per item has gone up. Like, let me pull that up here. Whoops, performance, sales. Like the last 30 days, where I'm at 1719, up 8.3%. Let's do like a custom in like the last week or so and see what that says. Yeah, only $17. Well, $17, up 3%. But I've been taking all offers $4 or higher. So. And I got to realize that's a big change, you know? Getting away from all those just low-priced items, unless an offer comes in. That's never been, the business model of mine, so. Severed Heads cassette. Sold for $11.65, headed to Minneapolis. Another one to Minneapolis. So being I've got a lot less to ship out compared to prior years. I got to be okay with doing 500 to 600 a day, because there's less cost involved now too, less mailers. Even though the dollar amount's down 40%, but then how much are my supplies costs down? How much is my shipping cost changed? So you got to take those into play also. So. Next up, Randy Thompson. That's not me. CD headed to Willard, Missouri. Sold for $630. So I just have to keep reminding myself that my business structure has changed. So that's going to affect things also, because probably half of my store was probably, I would say 42 to 47% of my store, be conservative. 42 to 47% of my store was below $6 items before I put them all up to $9.95. That's a big amount. 50, I'll be at 52 this week, but 52,000 items, and say 25,000 of those were under $6. So that leaves, what, 20? I'm trying to do math too early. But anyway, let's just trying to think differently. I'm just mumbling. Processing. So that would be like 25. So, what's a 25,000 piece store selling? With low sell-through rate stuff. So I just gotta put myself on a different table, if you will. Table as in like chart. Basically, I have to accept that 52,000 items listed, but probably a good 20,000 of those are never going to sell now, unless somebody sends me an offer. So I could look at it as basically I got 20,000 pieces of waste in my store that I'm transitioning over to 3 for $9.95 instead of 1 for $9.95 when it used to be 1 for $4.20. $4.19, that is. Cooper's Hawk Winery and Restaurant hat. Headed to Deerfield Beach, Florida. Sold for $10.50. I just have to remember that. Remember it, James. So then with that philosophy, the more I list, the more I'll grow. I just totally forget that I've killed such a high percentage of my store by upping the prices, moving out of the low dollar, moving away from the low dollar. Got to remember that. Remember. Do you remember the day that we met? I said hello, and you got all wet. Sorry. Version problematic. Sorry, not sorry. It's funky kinky stuff. Funky kinky stuff. Alright. Well, this was definitely a short video today. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Still at $54. The last few days, though, I have been, like even yesterday, I was at, I think, 130 at 10. So I was still pretty close to the 150 to 250s the last 3 days. But totally not today. Not today at all. I got to write that down and put it on a note. James, you changed your price structure. Sales will be down. Amount of items will be down. That's what I should say. Amount of items will be down. Price per item is up. So it's almost like I am I'm rebuilding a new phase with a good head start. With a head start that didn't take me too far down. So, gotta remember that. Remember, James. And I will see you all in the next video. Later.